And keep that one. I want to use the Jeff as the error for the intro. I think that'll be a good one.
No, it died before.
Oh,
yeah.
man. Is he still there?
No.
Welcome to the Immersive Lens, the podcast exploring the technologies reshaping how we live, work, and learn.
From AI and virtual reality to creative media and design, we're diving into the tools and ideas shaping our connected world.
My name is Paul Engin. Join us as we uncover the people and ideas driving the next wave of interactive experiences.
And I'm Jennifer Carney, standing in for the delinquent Dave Ghidiu, who apparently thinks that summer vacation is a thing. This is the Immersive Lens.
Yeah, what is up with this Dave character, huh?
Yeah, I know. It's not right that somebody who works, 23 out of every 24 hours should actually take a break.
Unbelievable.
Crazy. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, but he's the most productive person on vacation I've ever seen. I'm getting emails from him. He's handling stuff. Yeah.
Yes, and he was sending a video for... We were originally going to have another guest on talking about universal design, and he created a video while he's on vacation for me to ask.
Yeah, so this is my question. Is it because he's just enthusiastic, which we know he is,
yes,
or is it really about control? Does he need to be in control? I think that's a topic for a future episode.
Yes. Yeah. We'll have to do a psychoanalysis of Dave Ghidiu.
I bet you Claude could do it based on his previous chat history.
We'll have to... that'd be good.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
We'll have to bring someone from psychology in, and we'll have them psychoanalyze. That'll be perfect.
Right. Not pseudoscience-y at all.
No, not at all. So Jen, you've been on before. You know, we start with our hot takes, and I wanted to see if you wanted to start off our hot takes.
Sure. So I wanted to talk about a program that Anthropic announced, and their announcement was probably like a month ago now, but I don't think you've talked about it on the show yet. But they rolled out a program that they're calling Claude Core, which is clearly a nod at something like the Peace Corps or AmeriCorps. It sounds amazing. Anthropic is sponsoring the cost of fellowships to embed young career professionals into nonprofits. Anthropic's first going to train them in all the different Claude tools and then give them a year-long paid fellowship experience where they're embedded in a nonprofit and using those AI tools to help the nonprofit achieve its mission. So I think it's amazing.
That is.
And they're paying like a decent salary. The people who get chosen for this, Anthropic's going to pay them $80,000 for the year to be on fellowship doing this work. And it's only open, sadly. You can't apply, Paul. I can't apply either. It's aimed at people who are early career. So you have to be 18 and you cannot have worked for more than 2 years full time at that point.
Between 18 and a certain age, or is it 18?
No, just you got to be 18 and you can't have worked for more than 2 years. So,
interesting.
If you were like that 55-year-old person who's still in grad school and just goes from degree to degree, I guess you'd be eligible. Yeah, right. But so I think they're really sort of aiming at that Peace Corps type audience, right? Those young, inspired, energetic people just coming out of school with tons of knowledge and a desire to improve the world.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So it's even before they go to college. This is like right after high school.
Yeah,
right?
Or it could be college graduates, right? Or it could be somebody still in college.
Okay, so it can be over 18. They can be over 18.
They have to be at least 18.
At least 18.
And they can't have worked for more than 2 years. 2
years. Okay, I see what you mean. All right.
And so I think it's pretty fantastic. And applications are open now for they've committed to 1,000 positions over several years, but the first 100 are going to start in October. And applications are open right now, and then there'll be another cohort that starts in January, and another one, I think they said next August. So people should apply. I encouraged my son to apply, so he looked at the application, and there's actually some online courses you have to take before you can apply, which is interesting. So it looks like a great program.
Yeah, it's a great cause. I think that it's something that is really needed from big corporations sometimes for a greater good objective, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, Anthropic has been trying to convince us all along that it really is sincere in its desire to see AI help our world and not harm it. And clearly AI has the power to exacerbate income inequality and power inequality. And I think this is Anthropic's way of trying to fight against that and empower the small nonprofits.
Yeah, I think that Anthropic is really, at least its core values, they're following through with them, regardless if it hurts them financially in some way. And I think that it's really, it makes me as a consumer feel more comfortable using it because I know that they're going to be, I guess, safe with my information or with the stuff I'm using, that I know that it's going to be used in a good way, and I don't have to worry about that malicious aspect of.
Yeah, I mean, it's always hard to trust a large corporation, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I trust them more than I trust some of the others.
That's true.
Yeah.
Me too. And my hot take is actually with Anthropic as well. I saw a Chloe Lebinsky, who is, I don't know her official title at Anthropic, but she did a speech for the Alliance of Responsible Citizenship, ARC. And it was interesting because she kind of talked about what artificial intelligence is. And when she spoke about it, it was interesting because she said that, you know, all of these models are trained and they build human-like characteristics based on what they're trained on. So, you know, the logic is, you know, you could have a malicious characteristic, and all of the content and training around that could be centered around that concept, that characteristic. Just like you could try to build a model around someone who is thoughtful, someone who is mindful of, you know, others, and then the responses and the training gets built around that because the training keeps iterating, and it iterates around those concepts that you're training on. So what she was saying is that you will notice, and I feel like I've noticed, and I know in talking with Dave that he's noticed, I'm sure you might have noticed as well, if you use different LLMs, they have a different way of responding. They have a different way of giving you it might be similar information, but slightly in a different way or positioned in a different way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, oh my gosh, I have so many thoughts on that because I think it ties into a couple of things. I think the term, and correct me if I'm wrong, is it called hyperstition? This idea that that what we give AI can sort of come to be, right? So what we're scared of, what we're nervous about, we can be creating that future reality. So for instance, we have a lot of dystopian literature where the robots take over, right?
Yes.
Well, the AI has read all that literature, right?
Right.
We don't have a lot of literature where the AIs exist and are helpful and everything goes great. And so we are
the right term, by the way.
A scary future.
Yeah.
The other thing is that there was a new study that came out of Stanford just this week, and actually it's a little bit sobering and terrifying to me. They used AI. They took middle school essays and they used different AI models, but they tagged the essays. They used the same essay, but with different tags and said, you know, this is from a girl. This is from a boy. This is from somebody who is Latino. This is from somebody who is white. And the feedback that the AI gave on the exact same essay varied dramatically depending on the characteristics that they thought the writer had. So, for instance, if it was from a girl, the AI was more likely to say, I love what you've done there. If it was from a white male, the AI was more likely to give substantive feedback about the argument that the person was making in the essay. If it was from a traditionally underrepresented minority, the AI was more likely to give feedback about things like spelling errors. So what this is terrifying.
Yeah.
What this means is in our attempt to build personalized tutoring, what we've done is taken all of our human stereotypes and biases and taught AI that that's the good thing to do, to respond in a biased way. So we have to be really careful in the way that we're using these AI tools, and even in this idea of personalized learning. So I think all of that ties into what you're talking about here, that, AI is a product of its training.
Yeah.
And what we train it on is flawed. It's human, and it's full of inequities and biases and stories, and we have to be really thoughtful about that.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's important that, as you have that human element in there to make sure that what you're seeing is accurate or correct. And unfortunately, we can't control the training of these big language models. Right. But that's really shocking about the bias based on.
It's terrifying. And for me as an educator, one of the things I'm doing all the time is telling my students, hey, you can use AI to give you feedback and be a personalized learning support for you. So you can show it your writing and say, hey, how could I improve it? But what that is actually saying is that students in my class might get very different experiences because the AI is making judgments about them based on their name, their previous context that it has about them, and it's going to give different feedback. Interestingly, that study used 4 different large language models and saw the same issues across multiple large language models.
We'll have to put that study in the show notes for sure.
Sure.
That is really amazing, because you would think at this point we talk about biases, and you would think these language models would already, we're talking about it. They obviously are talking about it, and I don't even know, because of their training, how they're going to untrain.
Right.
Right? Because now it's already in one facet of the neural network, and, can they clean it up? Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's really interesting.
Well, and some of these are unintended consequences, right? So if we label this essay as from somebody who's an English language learner, right?
Yeah.
And it gives more feedback on grammar, that's the AI trying to respond in a way that's appropriate based on our tagging. But if we don't, for that, middle school writer, also help them develop in that, in the strength of their argument and their overall composition skills, then we're doing a real disservice, right? So we're turning these students into one-dimensional characteristics of themselves.
Yeah, or I wonder if we have to start really focusing on better prompting. So we say, don't look at this as a, African-American male. Look at it in an unbiased manner. I want you, and kind of have to verbalize it in the prompt.
Yeah.
Give it more context on what not to look for and what to look for.
Yeah, so you got to be like anti-racist in your prompt explicitly. Yeah, right. I mean, maybe it's interesting, and I think it's revealing in what the AI has learned about society, is revealing about society itself. Yeah, that
is. And now you have another hot take.
Yeah, do we have time for it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, what is this? I'm interested.
So I read an interesting article yesterday, and I know this episode won't air for a couple of weeks probably. So the article was in the New York Times on June 28th, and it was called "The Donking of a Truth Machine." And it was about a prediction market bet, a poly market bet, about whether the word donk would be said during a 7-hour esports broadcast, the PGL Bucharest Grand Final. And like anything in poly market, sometimes these are silly bets about inconsequential things, but with a lot of money at stake. So there was about $5.7 million in betting on whether the word donk would be said during a 7-hour broadcast. And interestingly, there's an argument about whether donk was said or not. And donk, by the way, is the name, I guess, of a particular gamer. But it really doesn't matter. It's just that it's a unique word. And one of the commentators bumbled the word don't, and it sounded like donk to many listeners. So there's a debate about whether that fulfills the poly market bet or not. So it turns out when there is a debatable outcome in Polymarket, they have a way to solve this problem, to decide what the truth is, and they call it the optimistic oracle. And the optimistic oracle is essentially set up to be an arbiter of truth. And what it is, it's kind of like its own little mini prediction market, like its own little meta prediction market. The only people who get to vote in the optimistic oracle are people who own cryptocurrency called UMA, U-M-A. And the idea is that if they vote on the side that actually wins, they get a little bonus. And if they vote on the side that loses, then they lose a little bit. So it's meant to be an uncorruptible system because they're going to want to be right and win their money. But like any other uncorruptible system, when there's big money at stake, humans find a way to corrupt it within just a few months, right?
Yeah.
So there is, in this particular case, there's a company that helps UMA owners know which way to vote, and it takes a cut, and it can then essentially swing the vote on these debatable Polymarket things. So instead of the prediction market taking all of the knowledge of the human race and figuring out, right? That's what prediction markets are supposed to do.
Right.
Instead, because of the money involved, we have once again pushed the decision making to just a few people who happen to have a significant amount of money already in the state.
It almost feels like lobbyists. Like they've got lobbyists now.
Right.
Like
it's like crazy. It's so insane. And it's just kind of mind blowing. So Polymarkets are such an interesting real world experiment. But we're finding all the ways they can be corrupted. And I mean, I'm sure you've heard the George Santos news story over the last few weeks.
No, what is that
Okay, so remember George Santos, our famous politician who lies about everything, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so there was a prediction market bet. I can't remember which market it was on. I don't know if it was Polymarket or not, but a prediction market bet about whether he would be in attendance at Trump's inauguration. And he had made a statement in public that he was planning to attend.
Right.
So, of course, it swung the market strongly in that way. And then he bet heavily that he wouldn't attend, and he didn't attend. And so he won a bunch of money, right? And so now he is being charged.
Okay, well, that's what I wanted to ask you, because I was thinking about it. I was like, wait, this whole dunking, like, if I was one of the announcers for that and I saw that, I could bet that I'm going to say it.
Right. And then you could say it.
And I could say it, right?
Yes.
What would
well,
how is
and
that
so
illegal?
it's so interesting because they're trying. So I learned recently the prediction markets don't fall under the normal SEC.
Right.
They follow under a separate regulatory body because sort of the traditional rules about insider trading, it's unclear if they should apply to prediction markets. Because prediction markets, the whole idea is that we are pooling all the best knowledge of all the people in the world. And if somebody has insider knowledge, wouldn't we want that knowledge to be part of the prediction market?
Right.
But should they be able to bet on it?
Right. That's right. I mean, because then it's like, I don't know.
It's a complex new world we're living in. I don't know. I've never bet on a prediction market. Have you, Paul?
I have not. I know that it's becoming a bigger thing. But I might look into, I watch it sometimes to see, what trends are happening.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like with something like that, it can be swayed a lot more.
Right.
Where it's like, will so-and-so fall during this concert? I don't know. It's when there's something that can be that manipulated so easily, I don't know if it's a good betting.
Yeah, I don't actually. This is just my lack of understanding of economics and big business. I don't understand how the markets make money, right? Like, how is this worth it for Polymarket when it can clearly be manipulated in so many ways? But I don't know. The house always wins, right? I don't know. I don't quite get it.
I'm sure they get a percentage of any transaction
it doesn't matter.
that happens. So it doesn't matter win or lose. They get a you bet $1, they get 10 cents no matter what. So you win or lose it, doesn't matter. They get 10 cents.
The house always wins.
So,
All right.
All right. So why don't we get into our deep dive today? I think this will be a fun one. This deep dive is called AI planning, and we're going to gear it a little bit more toward like our summer fun because it is the summer.
Yeah, absolutely. I got a road trip this week, 13-hour road trip, and then a couple days later, I got to take that 13-hour road trip on the way back. So I'm excited that this is going to help me plan.
Oh, awesome. So I was thinking what we would do is we would use two LLMs. We'll use Claude and Chat GPT. And you'll use Claude and I'll use the Chat GPT. Does that sound good?
That sounds great. I am seeing Paul's laptop for the first time, and he has like 1,000 icons along the bottom of his
I got
screen.
a lot of productive tools down here.
I don't know how he's finding anything.
It's microscopic.
It is.
All right. So we'll start a new chat for each one of these so it doesn't borrow from anything we've asked it before.
All right. Sounds
Does
good.
that sound good?
Yeah.
All right. So the first one we'll do is I'll read the prompt and then we'll see what we get from it. So the first one is going to be, I have 6 hours free on a Saturday. I want to relax, but also feel productive. Build me a day.
All right. And my prediction is that it's going to struggle with this because there's not enough context. What do you think?
Okay. I'm thinking the same thing because it doesn't, unless it's piggybacking off of things that I've asked in the past.
Yeah. I mean, Claude knows a lot about me. I'm not going to lie.
We'll see what happens here. All right.
All right. Claude has titled this chat, Balancing Relaxation and Productivity.
Yeah, and I have a slow start. I have it broken up into sections, and I have it's called slow start. Mine's done, by the way. You're still going?
Mine is still going here on Claude. Yeah.
Are you on low? Okay. All right. I'm just your model. I just wanted to see if you were.
Yeah. Listen, I got to save my tokens for some work this week, so we're gonna stay on low.
All right.
All right. So what did ChatGPT plan for you, Paul?
So I have a slow start for the first 30 minutes of my day. I'm going to skip the urge to jump right into tasks, and I'm going to make my favorite drink, whether it's coffee or tea, so it doesn't know what I prefer. And then it is coffee. So sit somewhere comfortable, read a chapter of a book simply to enjoy a quiet morning without my phone. The goal is to start the day feeling intentional rather than rushed. And then it gives me an hour and a half block after that of a meaningful project to do. And I can choose one, organize a room, work on a hobby, finish a personal admin task, learn something that I've been wanting to learn, and then keep it to one. But it's saying limit it to one of those. So
it's not specifying, but it's saying here's a block of time and you should do one thing productively.
Yes. Yeah. And then it's telling me to get outside. So visit a park, do something outdoors that I enjoy, just take a walk. This is interesting. It says leave headphones off so I can enjoy the spatial, because I see that a lot. People are always having their headphones on. And then I have a little lunch break and watch an episode of a favorite show or play a game or read, and then reset for my future self. So this is spend an hour doing a few small tasks. So tidy up for 20 minutes, prep a meal, do a load of laundry, and look over the calendar for the following week. And then I end my day with something enjoyable, with something that feels rewarding to me. So something like cook a nice dinner or go meet with friends or watch the sunset or work on the hobby that I started so I can. So
it looks to me like it gave you way more than 6 hours, right? The prompt said 6 hours, but what time did it start your day? It's ending your day at 6 p.m.
Oh, no. It's hour block. It's not time framed. It's saying the first 30 minutes, the next hour and a half. And it just blocks out the 6 hours.
I see. I thought it was times.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then it broke down to 25% relax, 25% meaningful accomplishments, 25% movement and recovery, 25% future planning. So
that's interesting. It feels like you need an even split. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to say Claude gave me a checklist. Like it's formatted really nicely in a way that I can check things off. And it's much more personal than yours, Paul, but it's also wrong in some of its assumptions about me. So it has me starting again, like yours, slow start with coffee, no fun. Or no phone, I'm sorry, not no fun. Doing nothing useful, journaling, sitting outside, watching the yard, letting my brain boot on its own terms. And it assigned that to a 9 a.m. time in particular. And then it has me spending 45 minutes doing banjo practice. Now, I don't own a banjo. I don't play banjo. I did talk to Claude about if I wanted to learn banjo, how would I do that? So it is assuming that I've progressed in that life plan, which, by the way, is not really a life plan.
I never knew.
I know. It was really, I just had a whim one day and thought, well, it'd be fun to learn banjo. And I talked to Claude about it, and now it thinks I'm committed, and it does not realize that that idea has come and gone. And then it has me doing one task with a clear finish line, like, and it's giving me some very specific things from my recent to-do lists. And so it's giving me some ideas that are very specific to me for 45 minutes. Okay. Then it's suggesting I take a walk, a bike ride, or time in the garden. It's referencing the Finger Lakes so it knows, your where location. I'm at. Yeah. Cook something real for lunch. Then it has me doing a craft project for 45 minutes, and it's referencing specific crafts that I actually do, like fiber arts. And then winding down 30 minutes of reading or sitting or maybe playing the banjo again for no reason.
So I think you must have memory enabled on mine. I have it disabled.
Yes, I do have memory enabled on mine.
So that's what it's borrowing. That's interesting. Banjo, that's awesome. I never knew.
No, it's not going to happen. Yeah.
I do like the way it formatted it with a checklist, and it's easier to read yours than I think it is to read mine.
Yeah, and it's giving me an option to swap a block at the end for anything different or to shift the timing. So, and it seems to, have created a way for me to easily do that.
So I wonder if for you would need to add a context that said something like, don't reference my previous.
But why would I want to not reference it? If this was real planning for me, right? And not a podcast experiment, I'd want it to have that practice.
Context, yeah.
I might need to go back and update the memory and let it know that I am not purchasing a banjo.
or working on a banjo project of any type.
I know. Unless someone wants to teach me banjo, I'm open.
All right. So what do you think outcome-wise? Are you leaning one? It seems like they're somewhat similar in how they structured it with like a ease into the day.
Yeah.
Did you have any future planning?
It did not do any future planning. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And so yours was more split, I would say 50-50 productivity and relaxation. And Claude said mine was split more 60 relaxation and 40 productivity.
So Claude's lazy.
We didn't give it much context.
No,
maybe Claude knows that I'm lazy. Maybe it's based on previous memory.
Maybe it's this whole Dave thing. Maybe right. Dave is like seeping through Claude.
Dave is not lazy. All right. How about, are you ready for a new one? Let's do this one because this applies to me this week.
Hey.
I need a playlist for a road trip this summer. I want something that feels like summer is actually happening. A mix of decades, some sing-alongs, nothing that requires explanation to enjoy. Give me a 20-song playlist with a sentence on why each track earns its spot.
All right. So mine knows nothing about me.
Mine thinks I like banjo.
Yeah, I'm wondering what kind of banjo music you're going to get. So you did a new chat?
I did do a new chat, yeah.
Hey, you might get a playlist from this now, right?
So once again, ChatGPT is way faster than
Yeah, I already got
Claude.
my 20 and you're still thinking. But maybe yours is more thought out or it's going to be structured.
Right. I mean, maybe mine is just more personalized and yours is, a quick Reddit list.
Well, I got, while you're still thinking.
Yes, it's still working.
I got Mr. Blue Sky, Electric Light Orchestra. What if it's practically sounds like a sunshine arriving, making it one of the best possible opening songs for my trip. I got a little Bryan Adams, Summer of '69.
Oh, one of my all-time favorites.
Dreams, Fleetwood Mac. Fast Car, Tracy. Oh my gosh, Tracy Chapman. That's old school.
Yeah. Rather than the redo that hit the last year or that was so popular.
Yeah, these are all old school.
Yeah.
Send
now we
Me
asked
on My
for
Way,
a mix of decades. Is it a mix of decades?
Rusted
Do you
Root.
think?
We got Weezer. Not yet.
Weezer.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Shut Up and Dance, Walk the Moon, Katrina Eagles. These are Outkast, Amy Winehouse.
All right, so give us another song and the context that the argument that it made for it.
Well, I'll do Cruel Summer, Taylor Swift, modern pop, at its most exhilarating with a chorus built for shouting in the car.
Well, that's true. I can get behind that. Yeah.
I would say that 90% of my songs are older songs.
Yeah.
Right, outside of the Taylor Swift, and I have a Dua Lipa. Everything else on my list is like 10 years or older.
Does it have context on how old you are? Do you think? Do you think that's based on you? I mean, we did ask it to be a mix of decades.
Oh, you know what? I guess I'll read the top here. It says mixes classics 90s to 2000s favorites. I guess that's
not a lot of decades.
That's not a lot of decades.
No.
What did you get?
All right, so Here Comes the Sun from the Beatles from the 70s. It says, opens every window in the car, 3 notes in, and you're already somewhere better. Life is a Highway by Tom Cochrane. Walking on Sunshine.
I got that one too.
Did you? Cruel Summer. So we got some overlap here. Mr. Brightside. Did you have Mr. Brightside?
Mr. Brightside, I do not have.
Oh, I got a little Queen, Don't Stop Me Now. I have Dua Lipa too. Levitating. Is that what you have for Dua Lipa?
Let's see. Levitating. Yep, and I got Queen, Don't Stop Me Now either. I got that too. Yep.
Interesting. I got Dancing in the Dark, Bruce Springsteen. No Scrubs, TLC. Now that I would not have put on my list, but that's a good one. Watermelon Sugar, Harry Styles.
Okay,
that's a
good
similar
one. Yeah.
Okay, Take Me Home, Country Roads, John Denver, back in the 70s. So I got a lot broader mix than you do. I got Earth, Wind, and Fire also from the 70s.
I have that as
September.
well.
Oh, yeah?
September, yep.
Oh,
I have that. Yeah.
Nice. I got, a few more, but Dreams, Fleetwood Mac. So so we've got some
crossover.
overlap here. So what's interesting to know where their sources are. I'm going to ask it.
I was going to ask, yeah.
All right, and Claude says, my own knowledge, no search, no external source. That playlist came entirely from what I know about these songs, artists, and why they work for road trips.
Oh, that's interesting. So I said, where did you compile this list from? It's very similar to the one generated by Claude. And it says, I didn't compile it from Claude or copy it from existing playlists. The similarities are unsurprising because there's a handful of songs that consistently show up when people ask for a summer. Oh, interesting.
Oh, that is interesting.
So the ones that are consistent are Mr. Blue Sky, Summer of '69, Take It Easy, Life is a Highway, Walking on Sunshine.
So Claude got a little snarky with me. He said, honestly, nothing on that list is obscure enough to need a fact check.
Wow.
It's like, just trust me, dude.
I know.
It's your problem.
I know. Jeez. Come on, Claude.
All right. So what I'm interested in, though, is can they export this playlist to something that's useful for me?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. So is that what you're asking it?
Yeah.
Can
what
you
should I
export?
ask it?
can you export this playlist to something I can import into Spotify or Apple Music?
Oh, that's a good one. While you're on Spotify, you should like and subscribe to the Immersive Lens.
That's right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You're welcome.
You're good at that.
See, yeah, I've been listening to Dave.
All right. Let's see. It might tell me to add a plugin.
Yes.
Or MCP.
It's telling me to use a tool called Spot Lister or Tune My Music or I don't know how you would say this, Sound IIZ. For Apple Music, and that it can export me a clean, plain text list of songs that I could import into those tools.
Okay. Yeah, and mine actually says, absolutely, I've created the playlist in 2 formats, compatible with many playlist import tools.
Yeah.
Although they don't tell me. Oh, yep. And then sound is Tune My Music, Free Your Music.
All right, so it's pointing us actually to the same plugin tools and giving us the same output.
Yeah, and it looks like you can actually export this CSV file, and then you can import that directly into Spotify. Something I'd have to try. We'd have to keep asking it questions on how to do this, but this would be something interesting to play with a little bit more. As far as that goes.
Yeah.
All right. So let's do one more prompt. And then I'm thinking, why don't we do the spontaneous, this prompt, and then kind of go through some best practices if you're planning using AI to plan a future trip.
Sure.
So the one that we're going to use here is going to be called Plan a Spontaneous Long Weekend Trip for 2 People with No Destination in Mind. Budget is reasonable but not extravagant. Keep it around $500. We want interesting food, something unexpected, and minimal time in a car. Starting from Canandaigua, where the podcast studio is located, give us 3 completely different options and make a case for each one. This seems like a pretty good prompt. It seems to have some specifics. It also has things that we wanted to stay away from. I think this will give us a pretty good result.
Yeah, and just give credit where credit is due. That was a prompt generated from Claude itself that we edited a little bit.
All right. Oh, yours is already...
Well, I started early because yours is so much faster. And once again, so much faster in its output. Claude is still thinking.
I got images. I got everything. Mine's done.
Now, you and I are actually hooked into 2 different Wi-Fi networks here in this room. So I wonder if there's a difference in the speed of our Wi-Fi or if it really is its thinking. But I now have 3 options. So Claude has produced 3 options with actually quite a nice looking output with maps and itineraries with specific pictures. So option 1 is Hudson, New York, the antique town on the rails. Option 2 is Toronto, the city that eats the world. And option 3 is Pittsburgh, the underdog city that'll surprise you. And there then there's detailed lists of what to do in each one.
I got my option 1 is train adventure to Buffalo.
And what is more exciting than Buffalo, New York?
That's right. But instead of driving, you make it a journey by making it a train trip.
Well, I'm assuming this Hudson one is the train ride also, since it mentioned the rails. Yeah. Yep. Using Amtrak, Rochester to Hudson, 5 hours, about $80 a person each way, it says.
And I think that's the make it interesting, make it different. So, and then it gives some different things you can do there. It gives a rough price on the train tickets, the hotel, the food that it would cost, and gives you a rough budget. My next one was Finger Lakes wine country without the winery focus. So that's interesting because a lot of times we have great wines in the Finger Lakes. So there's a lot of wine tours, but something unconventional would be just walking downtown, do farm to table restaurants, something that's a little bit more unconventional.
Downtown where?
Let's see. What does it say? This is interesting. It's not specific. Oh, Canandaigua.
Oh, okay.
It is in Canandaigua. Geneva.
Okay. That makes sense. Because we did ask for a road trip from Canandaigua, but I'm not sure I'd count it as much of a road trip when it's 20 minutes down the road.
Yes, it did say it's only about 30 minutes from Canandaigua. And then it gives a list of things like renting a kayak and, Seneca Lake. And it gives a rough cost. And then my third option, it's Pittsburgh.
Really?
Food weekend.
All right, so let's talk about the differences in Pittsburgh. So in Pittsburgh, it has me, let's see. Oh, it has some fun things in Pittsburgh. It has us going to the Strip District on Saturday morning for Pennsylvania Macaroni, Holy's Fish Market, La Prima Espresso. It has us going to the Mattress Factory, which is a really unique and contemporary art museum. It has us riding the Duquesne Incline, which is a classic touristy thing to do in Pittsburgh, where you get a great view of the city.
Got to do that once.
Yeah. So what's your Pittsburgh itinerary include?
Well, what's interesting is you have a lot more detail around each of your elements, and you have maps.
Mm-hmm.
I have small thumbnail images for each of the destinations, but I don't have a lot of detail. All it tells me is that eat your way through the Strip District, explore restaurants and breweries in the Lawrenceville neighborhood, ride historic incline, and then visit Phipps Conservatory.
Oh, nice.
And Botanical Garden. But it doesn't give me, there's links so I can find out more. But it's literally just a bullet list, and it gives me a cost. Does yours have costs associated?
Yes, it does. So my cost says for this option, if because there's two people, if we drive and split the gas cost, it's about $60 round trip in fuel. And a budget hotel on the North Shore, $100 to $130 per night. I have never found hotels that cheap in Pittsburgh, and then food about $150. So it's assuming I'm going to be able to find a really cheap hotel.
Yeah, mine seems a little more accurate. It's $220 for hotel, $180 for food, $70 for gas, and then parking and rideshare. $30. So I have a total of around $500 is what mine
is
estimate.
saying $450 to $500 is the total. So do we have time for a follow-up?
Yeah.
Let's say let's choose Pittsburgh. Give me a more detailed itinerary. Let's see what it can do and how long it takes there.
All right. So more detailed itinerary for the Pittsburgh trip. Oh, wow. It's starting to break out like 8:30 to 9 a.m.
Wow. It got really detailed for you. Now it's
Leave Canandaigua.
It's a job. Leave Canandaigua. Mine is still thinking.
Yeah.
So then don't use Claude if you want speed. Use ChatGPT for speed, I guess.
So we'll get, if we leave between 8:30 9, we'll get there at around 2. We'll check into our hotel. Actually, this says it's going to be about $140 a night.
I found you a cheaper hotel, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it says for the afternoon, we're going to head to the Strip District, have a big lunch. And then in the evening, we're going to go to Point State Park. And then...
That's where there's a famous statue there, right? Does it mention it? I can't remember. Is it Einstein or something? I can't...
no, it doesn't
People
say.
from Pittsburgh, if you are listening, I'm sorry.
And then it gives us a Saturday breakdown of what we could do in the morning, a lunch, afternoon, dinner, and then Sunday, grab breakfast, and then get ready to leave.
So I got to say, Claude's, it's a very detailed itinerary. It has picked out a hotel for me, Comfort Inn North Shore, that's going to put me right across the Allegheny River from downtown on the Andy Warhol Bridge and walking distance to the museum of the same name. So it has me arriving on Friday at like 3 p.m., checking in, walking the Warhol Bridge, and going to the Andy Warhol Museum. And then it has found a specific tapas restaurant for dinner. And Saturday, it has me starting early, 7:30 a.m. breakfast in the Strip District, followed by a morning at the Strip District, Mattress Factory Museum, Duquesne Incline, and then Sunday, visiting Randyland. Have you heard of Randyland?
No, Randyland.
Randyland. So if you are somebody who likes Atlas Obscura kind of things, like you want to see the quirky and the weird, Randyland is the place to go.
Wow.
So it's a particular artist who transformed his home with crazy things. And then it has us visiting the Heinz History Center before driving home.
Okay. So I wonder if yours is slightly more catered toward your previous prompts.
Yeah, I mean, it knows I like art, right?
Yeah.
So it has leaned in towards art.
Yeah, absolutely. And so when we're doing this, I think we'll go through our list of 10 things that we can look at. And the first one is give context about yourself. So obviously yours had a little bit more context. So mine did not, because I have my memory off. But things like age, preference, if you have physical limitations, so I can't walk far or I can't. Right. And then your travel style. So, one of the things that it notes is I hate touristy spots. So something like that. So this way it knows we're not going to hit the regular tourist.
Right. Yeah. Another best practice would be to set the hard constraints up front. So if you tell it things like the budget, the time window, the location, and non-negotiables right from the start, it's going to plan around those boundaries better than trying to add it in later.
Yeah, which makes sense, because if you do have a budget, you don't want to go extravagant, and it'll help gear it toward that. Be specific about the goal is the other one. So I want to really have a fun day. I want to feel relaxed, a little adventurous. So this way it has some context as to things to look for that.
Right. Include what you don't want. So negative prompting can be really powerful. So if you tell it no chain restaurants, no more than 20 minutes driving between stops, then it's going to eliminate you from having. It's going to prevent you from having to eliminate those bad options later. It's going to avoid them to begin with.
And to kind of piggyback off that context about yourself, you also want it to give it, who else is coming, because obviously that's a big factor. If you have kids under a certain age, or if everyone's over 21, that's a different trip.
Yeah, and as always, remember that if you're using the memory, it's going to remember who's in your family, and so only give it details you want it to know.
Yes.
Also, a great idea is to ask for options, not just a single plan. So if you give it a request for specific contingencies, like give me a plan B in case it rains.
Yeah, and I think that's really good. I think it's also good because if you ask it to give you one or two ideas, that second idea might be something more relevant or something that you'd be more interested in. So you have the choice. You're not asking it to give the choice for you.
Right.
Request a schedule with times. So this way you have something that's more realistic. So it's not giving you a list of 15 things to do in 2 hours.
Right. And then ask it to explain its trade-offs. Ask it why it chose this option over that option. And a lot of times that'll surface another different, better alternative too.
Yeah. And then from there you can iterate. So, you don't have to start from scratch every time. In the same chat, it'll remember what you're talking about. So you can keep iterating, saying, why don't we swap this lunch with this? Is that still realistic? And it has all that context from before as well.
Yeah. And then stress test it, throw in a curveball after the plan is set, and see how it adapts to it. Personally, when I've used AI to plan itineraries for me, it packs the itineraries. So I usually then have to respond and say, hey, let's cut this down to half the number of activities in the day. Yeah, and maybe that's just it needing to know my personal pacing.
Yes, and just give me buffer time, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
absolutely. Because it doesn't understand some of the things like, I think it's those nuances. If you have 4 kids that are under 10, all right, well, that's going to be a lot harder to like move from location A to B.
Sure.
Or if you're with if I'm with my mom or something, that movement is going to be a lot slower to go through a museum or whatever activity we're doing versus if it's just my wife and I and we're just
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
yeah.
Well, I think that's all the time we have for it. Thank you so much for stepping in for Dave.
This was
fun. I really
fun.
appreciate it. My name is Paul Engin.
And I'm Jennifer Carney, filling in for Dave Ghidiu. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode.
And share it with a friend or colleague. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and thanks for looking through the Immersive Lens with us.
This episode was engineered by Hugh Laird.
Recorded at Finger Lakes Community College Podcast Studios, located in beautiful Canandaigua, New York, in the heart of the Finger Lakes region, offering more than 55 degrees, certificates, micro-credentials, and workforce training programs.
Thank you to Public Relations and Communications, Marketing, and the FLX AI Hub.
Eager to delve into passion, discover exciting and immersive opportunities at www.flcc.edu. Now, usually Dave messes me up here. He'll
at www. I know. Yeah, as part of our mission at FLCC, we're committed to making education accessible, innovative, and aligned with the needs of both students and employers.
The views expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official position of Finger Lakes Community College.
Music by Den from Pixabay.
This is the Immersive Lens. Thanks again, Jen.
Thank you, Paul.